Afro Fish OG. What is going on, everyone? Welcome to season 2, episode 20, which would be actually for all y'all episode 50 of Afro in the Know. For those who, it's wild, bro. Fucking 50 episodes. Like I've been doing this since February 8th of 2025. Which, for those who don't know, was last year. I don't know. Some people aren't good with numbers. So I'll let you guys know. I'll fill you all in. Don't worry. I do a good job with it. I graduated. Okay. I graduated, so you don't have to. But but today I got the Husky Hokage in the building. What is good? How's it going?
What's going on, Afro, man? Finally, I made it. I'm on Afro. Let's go.
Let's
go.
You finally got you up on here. And I'm glad too. I'm glad because I feel like it's always like the time's not working or something like that. So you just keep on moving. But I'm glad you're able to get up here and come and join because dude, I love watching your shit and stuff like that too.
Same, man. Same.
Believe me, I'm not gonna crash out. Like I'm not gonna crash out like last time. So, but for those who don't know who you are, I'll let you got the floor.
Yeah. I'm the Husky Hokage, man. I am a gaming content creator, a variety streamer, writer, podcast host as well. I love all things nerdy and blurty. And you can find me, a lot of times on TikTok. I would want to, especially my new mutuals here, Afro. I'm in his live from time to time, man. But yeah, that's about it, man.
No, and I'll say, it's always I love having you in there whenever it comes to the lives. They're always something. They're always interesting. I wanted to do one earlier today before I started this, but like partway through, I had some personal stuff to take care of, but I just couldn't. I was like, man, I cannot think of a prompt. I hate thinking of prompts.
Yeah.
I do. I hate thinking of prompts. I've been doing this shit for damn near 2 years.
I was about to say you've been doing it for a long time.
Yeah.
Imagine you trying to put them prompts up there and always having something.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it gets annoying after a while. I know I want to do one about marathon, but I'm not gonna lie.
Have you played?
I have, and I'm just I'm okay with it, but I realize the marathon, as much as I think it is a cool game, extraction shooters are not my thing.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't know. It's just how the game plays. I've been playing marathon. I try to get myself into it. The same with Arc Raiders. I don't think Arc Raiders is bad. I don't think it's a bad game. But it's just not a game that I find myself enjoying when I play it. But yeah, that's just me. I don't know about you. Like, I want to know what.
Yeah. So I've actually haven't dove into marathon. I did like the little training, the tutorial, but that's really it. I haven't actually played a match, so I'm probably going to do that today sometime. But as far as like Arc, I was really enjoying Arc. I still do. I got pissed off yesterday. Like I've noticed myself. I'm starting to get pissed off more and more when I'm like literally when I get shot in the back. Usually I'll be I'll laugh it off. Or I'm like, all right, bro, you got me. Okay, whatever. But these last few times, and I've lost all my stuff. Like, you know what?
So I can't. Like, I can't get myself to feel like I can enjoy it.
Yeah,
and that's the part that really bothers me the most.
Yeah. Absolutely, and that's why I was like, because me and my friend, my homeboy was playing yesterday, and literally, we were just doing runs. I'm just helping him get some loot, helping him do stuff, and I'm doing runs and stuff. And literally, we went in a room, and all of a sudden, I'm searching. And then I'm like, bruh, I wasn't even bothering you. Like, it ain't even that serious, dude. Like, and after he was like, he had to get off. I was like, I'm glad you got off. Because I was done after that. I was like, yeah, we had did like 3 or 4 runs with no issues. And then all of a sudden, you want to show up and just shoot for no like just shooters. I'm like, bro, we ain't even doing nothing. Like, yeah.
No, and that's my thing is like I get the sentiment of like having, you know, the chance, kind of like Arc Raiders, where it's like there's a chance of people coming up, shooting you in the back, all that other kind of stuff. And I think overall, I'm not a fan of that. I just don't care enough about it. And so when it happened I died in marathon, and I think it was to a person. Yeah, it was a person in the back because I got killed by him.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I was just kind of like whatever. I'm not a big fan of it myself personally. So I was like, and this game is kind of just a little too slow paced for me. But overall, mechanics wise, I think it's good. I think mechanics wise is good. I think the art style is really unique. I really like that a lot. The guns are pretty cool. Like they definitely put a lot of care and creativity into it. So I'm not going to say that they didn't. I think that's actually really awesome. Yeah. I just could not get down with some of the mechanics of it, and so eventually I got to where I was like, you know what, it's fine, and I went back to playing Tekken, where I lost 3 matches in a row. So, but I'm playing June right now, so that's why I'm playing June. Okay. I love playing June. Like I was playing Brian, and I love playing Brian, but I've been playing June. I love playing June, and like I know she's not a great character right now. For a lot of people, I don't think she's really that good. But I have a lot of fun playing against her. It's just a lot of my matches are actually really close. I'm getting a lot better, and I think that's what I love about those kind of fighting games is like watching yourself get better. You know?
That's the thing. Yeah, and I haven't played a fighting game in a long time. Like, well, serious. Like I do with my kids. My middle son, he likes fighting. He loves fighting games. So we'll play Dragon Ball Fighter or something like that. And like I said, I actually love fighters. I'm not good at it. I'm not great, but I'm decent enough when it's me.
Who are you picking in fighters though? Like your first round, who are you picking in fighters?
If I'm going Goku Black, Bardock, and if my third would probably be, I'll probably go lately. Well, last I think I was doing is it just 2 or 3? It's 3, isn't it?
3 characters. You have 3 characters.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So it'll probably be maybe Hit. I like Hit. You know, I know he can. Yeah, so I know Goku Black and Bardock are probably there. It'll be either Hit or Trunks. Like those are usually the ones I use when I'm playing.
W game, definitely a W game. Like I use, for me, a lot of times I like Z Broly, 21 and Yamcha. I love Yamcha. Like
I like Tien. I'll use Tien. Like my second team, Tien is on there. I like the Dragon, like the Z Broly as well. I just like him overall. And I'll throw in. I usually go for, I think it's Gotenks. I'll do that. I like him as well. These like that's like a little backup I do, but me and him will do that. But I saw, I was telling you the other day. So Kenny Omega is like a wrestler. He's been in New Japan. He was like one of the top stars in New Japan. He's over in AEW now, but he's been doing. I saw he was doing the mocap for Alex in Street Fighter 6, and I was like, I might want to pick this up just so I can play with him, because he does Kenny Omega's finishing move and stuff like that in the games, one of his moves. So it's like, yo, I might want to. I need to pick this up. just play that.
I haven't played Street Fighter. I'm terrible at Street Fighter. Terrible at Street Fighter. And so like I think overall it is a lot of fun. I think Street Fighter is a lot of fun. And that's why I switched over to Tekken, because Tekken just feels more anime.
Yeah.
A little more anime, like you know, when you're getting the hit and you're just boom, 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 like just getting this ping down the field there. But like Street Fighter is one of those where I think Street Fighter is one of the most, like, for a fighting game, it's one of the most like beautiful games. I think though, ever since they switched it, I think it was in 4 when they went to like the more like watercolor.
Yeah.
I think that to me boosted Street Fighter's popularity for me personally, because I think it's just really pretty to watch. Also the fact of just watching people dominate in Street Fighter. I have a friend of mine who plays Zangief a lot, and it's just I'm like, y'all love Zangief. Like there ain't no way, like it's something fun about him. But I find the game just overall really cool. Just cool to watch.
Yeah.
A lot of people having fun with it. And I think I think it's amazing. Yo, what's good, Yang? What's
What's
good?
going on? What's going on? I agree. I'm like my Dub likes Tekken. He's him and a couple other friends. They play Tekken a lot. Like that's their thing. I am more so like I haven't played Tekken in a long time, like a long time. So I'm scared to jump back in Tekken. I know how technical it is, and I've seen like some of the stuff. I played a little bit of 2XKO. I was playing that for a little while, and
What was
actually
that?
it's okay. It's okay. But like once again, for me, it's okay. I know one of my friends who's more so into fighting, he was like, he don't really like it, he don't like the style and stuff like that. So I can understand. But I thought 2XL was fun. I actually ran a few matches with Clark from Chilling in the Party one night. We was on streaming and I was running a few matches, but with him. But like that's pretty fun. I even got once again got my son to download that so he can play. But that I wouldn't mind giving Tekken another try, but it's either I'm gonna pick up a fighting game this year. I'm gonna try to pick up either it's gonna either be Tekken or Street Fighter. It's gonna be one of them two, just to get back in get back in there and feel around. Because mostly I'm playing my regular everyday game. Well, everyday games is either college football. That's kind of something I play every day. Because me and my friends we're doing we're in a dynasty.
Oh
yeah,
cool.
we're in the dynasty. We're like in a year. We started over. When we first started, we got our normal teams or whatever and went through. But I decided, I think maybe near the end of last year, I decided to make it a little bit more challenging. So what did we do? We started a brand new league. And what I did was I said, you can only pick teams rated 2 and 3-star or less. And so that made it a little bit more challenging. We did 2 or 3-star, and before you could transfer or leave from that school to go to another school, you had to have, you had to do 3 things. You had to have a player drafted, you had to win a conference championship, and it was one other thing you had to stay there at least 2 years. Had to stay at least 2 years, win a conference championship, and you had to have a player drafted in the draft, no matter what round, in order to move on to the next school. And then the next school you go to had to be 4-star or less. Like we kept it. So like now I'm at the stage now where I'm at the 4-star school, and the same thing kind of apply. You got to have but this time you got to have a player drafted in the first round, and you got to win a conference championship in order to get. So like I say, I'm at Louisville now. And say I get offered a job at LSU. For me to transfer to LSU, I have to have one of my players drafted in the first round and then win a conference championship. I'm probably gonna win the conference championship this year. I was close to winning one last year. My homeboy won, but like 3 points. So that's neither here nor there. But I'm winning this year. So, but yeah. So we started doing that just to make it more challenging, because trying to recruit at a 2 and 3-star school
That's hard.
It is hell. I'm telling you that. But it's fun. It makes it, like I said, it makes it more fun, makes it more challenging, stuff like that. So we decided, we've been doing that. So I know we're gonna probably end up doing that next year as well. This year's game as well. But I love that we decided to do that. And like I said, it makes it challenging, still keeps it fun, and you have some fun while doing it. So yeah.
That makes sense. I know it's fun. I've been planning on doing a video comparing Tekken and Madden. Or not Tekken, Madden in college football, excuse me. I've been planning on doing one because I really did like 25, and I did have to get a bit used to 26.
Yeah.
What I was, I've been enjoying myself with college football, but when I go to Madden, I just don't get that, and I find it really interesting because they both play almost effectively the same. Their presentations, I think I find more interesting with like I love the band when it gets played. I love hearing the, on Wisconsin, right? Every time I get out, I mean, it's annoying after you get first down after first down, it's first down. But like, it's fun though to hear, and like hearing the different band sounds and stuff like that. I don't mind the drafting, the recruiting process. Sometimes I just let the computer do it and I just keep playing the game. And then when the computer starts playing like shit, I jump team. So like, but I think when I go to Madden and I go listen to Maddens, and like this is actually something I was big on, is I like the fact that they brought in more commentators for Madden. Yeah. Thank God, because I was like, oh my God, I can't just deal with the fucking
Same old.
Yeah, the same old. But they brought in more commentators, which I'm fine with, and I'm glad about. My problem with it is it doesn't. They need to work on actually being able to commentate, especially high-powered plays.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, I break off a 45-yard run. Oh, he could go all the way.
And
Damn, like I thought it a lot more excited in my head, like
yeah.
I'm like, I don't know, like I was like having a hard time with like, oh, touchdown Texans, and I'm like, damn, like at this point, I'd rather just have them just do AI voices of John Madden and just give me that back. Like I was like, at least he sounded like he cared. Like,
and I think what would be a cool feature, man, is to start like have someone have actual live commentators, like especially when you're streaming. Like
I would 110% find people. You know what? Fuck it, I might do that. It's like find people online who play.
I do that now.
Oh, really?
I do that. For my friends. So what we do, like we're in a Discord as well. We have and whenever either one of us will like say we're either playing each other or somebody they'll stream the game to the Discord channel. And literally one of my favorite things to do now is to commentate. I'll sit there and I listen. If I'm not playing, it is on. I enjoy it. I was like, bro, I need to figure out how to do this on a regular basis, because this is fun. Like, and then you're trying to figure out stuff and say, catch up. Like it is so good, and so I'm real good at paying attention to details. They'll be playing, and I'll catch a player's name to that. Like such and such did a big game. So like, man, when did you? How do you know? I love doing it. But like, listen, that's something I would love to get into doing is commentating.
Yeah. I would love, like, I think it's and it sucks because I don't want to knock on the commentators, because obviously commentating in real life is a lot different than commentating Madden. I got to keep it within a certain probably like volume. And these are all speculation, but I keep it to a certain volume limit and all that other kind of stuff. I don't like that. But yeah, if I can go and like see like it's like I don't know. You have two left there, two wide receivers to the right, two wide receivers to the right, one on the left. Stroud backs up, throws the ball down the field, touchdown, Nico Collins. Like I want to hear that a lot more than touchdown Texans. Do I get paid now? Is that like
But yeah, I completely understand, because you want that, you want that excitement a little bit more, especially when you're playing. You need that jolt. You get that jolt of energy from the commentators from time to time, man. It's always good to hear it. So yeah.
I want it, and I don't know if they can do it on college football as well, because they do this it's like Kirk
Herbstreit and Jesse Palmer from time to time, and I think David David Green or something like that. Or David Pollock.
Yeah. And so I could use more of those as well. But I think like it's weird, because I think I come in whenever I play a Madden game with like a slight I don't want to say like arrogance, but like a slight chip on my shoulder already, because I've played Madden for so long that I do have feeling, like my feelings about it doesn't necessarily fade away. And I try to be as optimistic as possible about it. Be like, hey, it's a new one. I don't take them seriously. Like, honestly, it's one of my therapy games. I said in one of my videos, I put College Football 26 is one of my therapy games. I don't put it on like a high difficulty. Like if I was playing with other people, sure. But if I'm playing it just by myself, no, I put that on like varsity, and then I just fucking throw bombs down the field.
And that nothing wrong with it. That's how I look at it. That's why I was telling somebody else this, because I was in an interview. Kryptonite Jermaine from he had me on his podcast, but he was we were talking about it, and I was like, if you're the so-called ball and gun gamer, listen, I don't care about you, but I don't shame anybody for playing certain games. If you want to play certain games and that's all you want to play, that's fine. So that's why I say, because I play college football, and like I said, college football is one of my go-to to kind of turn my brain off a little bit and just play and have fun. Like literally, in my games now, I'm trying to get my wide receiver to the Heisman in my league. That's so hard. Literally, I am force feeding this man It's just about it. Like he's getting big play, and I moved him specifically to the slot because he is my number 2 receiver, but I moved him also in the depth chart. You can put him as a slot receiver. So whenever I have 3 or more receivers on the field, he's in the slot position, and he kills it because a lot of times he's being covered by either a corner that's not good or a linebacker or something, and he's got like 97 speed. So with a good acceleration, he's in a drag. He's getting open, and I'm with a drag. I'm usually he can get 10 plus yards depending on what the coverage is. And then every now and again, I'll put him on a go, and that he'll do and catch it on the fly. I'll just dump it. Just dump it. And literally, like one game, I think and what happened was the very first game of the season. Once again, I'm just playing. Well, I'm playing. I forgot who I was playing. As a matter of fact, I was playing a high ranked team, and I'm just throwing the ball, and I'm like, oh, they leaving them open. I'm gonna leave. I think he ended up with like 300 yards receiving that game, and I was like, oh, And I look, this might be it. I'm like, you know what? I'm going for it. This is gonna be my receiver. This is gonna be my person. I'm gonna win the Heisman with, and I'm gonna try to get him. Well, this is my guy who will get drafted in the first round, and he was a transfer I picked up too. I'm having fun this season because I'm like literally, I like to throw the ball anyway. My run game is somewhat non-existent this season, but I have been throwing that ball like just airing it out, and but like I said, I love it. I love just getting in the game and playing, having fun, turning my brain off. Even when I'm playing with my friends, or we'll all be playing our game at the same time. We'll be in Discord just talking trash and just talking in general, having conversations, and just being in like that's therapy. That is therapy for me. You get in there, you get to talk, you get to have fun, you get to relax, you get to get some stuff off your chest from time to time. You get to share thoughts, get advice from your peers, your friends, or stuff like that. That's therapy. And I think we all need something like that or whatever. Not saying don't go to therapy if you need it. If you need to go, you need
to go to therapy. There's a lot of people who do it.
Correct. If you need a therapist or you need like professional help, please seek it. Please go get
it. It's therapeutic.
Thank you. There's nothing wrong with that. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. But it's also good to have them people that in your circle that you can talk to and bounce out ideas off of, or just share to get stuff off your chest from time to time. And that's what it is. Playing the game with them, whether I'm playing college football, whether I'm playing ARC, or whether I'm playing something else. It's good to do something like that. But yeah.
Right. And I agree with you. That's why for games like college football and just other therapeutic games, I use Spider-Man. I use Spider-Man as an example.
Yeah.
Spider-Man 2 just swinging around New York is just fun.
Absolutely.
It's just fun. It's you are like there's the amount of like fluid movement I can get anyways from it, and it's just a peaceful thing just in general.
Absolutely.
And I love it. Like I love like these kind of games where they can just be therapeutic. I use like Forza as another one. Forza is fun to just drive around, and like once that's like a sunset hits or something like that, I'm like, I didn't realize I've been doing that since Need for Speed Underground 2.
Oh wow.
I would do that in Need for Speed Underground 2 all the time. I would just drive.
I haven't did it in a minute, but like when I was playing Forza 5, back when it first dropped, because I was playing it, I'm not religiously, but I played it a lot. And when I was playing it, and after I'll do a couple of races, and I'll just sit there and either turn my music on myself, or I'll just listen to the stations that Forza has, and I'll just drive. And then I'll find myself doing drifting or doing some burnouts, just doing something and it's so therapeutic, so relaxing. It is so much fun just sitting there because it's a good time.
It is a good time.
Yeah.
And it's one of the reasons also why I tell people to find a game like this.
Mm-hmm.
Find a game that is therapeutic for you, that is something you might have to think about. Whether I know a lot of people, it's like Stardew Valley. It could be something like Animal Crossing. Even I know some people, it's Elden Ring. Like it's just the fact of just getting into the groove of something and just you dashing, dodging around and all that. And I love that for people. Something I actually wanted to go back to a little bit when it comes to the fighting games, though, is the fact of what I love about fighting games especially like games like Tekken, like Street Fighter, etc., is the fact that you kind of force yourself to have to take accountability for these. You have to take accountability for how you play.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if I miss, I was playing against a guy in I was playing yesterday, and I should have I lost. Like we went 1-1.
Mhm.
And at first, he was absolutely like he wrecked my shit really bad. But
Yeah.
I started realizing that I was keeping up with him, and I realized that like if he wants to end that game quickly, if I can stall on him, because that's kind of more June is more defensive, anyways. But if
Yeah.
I can stall on him, there was nothing he could do. Like he was struggling to get it, and then he bounced right away. And I'm like, bro, like I think that's part of the accountability thing. Like you know when
Yeah.
you fuck up, and I was really
Yeah.
hoping that he'd play a third one because it was really exciting.
Yeah.
But you know, and that's something that it's something we just kind of need in general in this space is a sense of accountability.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. It is, and that's why I we were talking about kids, but that's why I teach my kids now. You have to be accountable for your actions, and whether it's in whatever you're doing, whether it's in gaming, if you mess up, and I tell them, I tell my kids all the time, it's not. I don't have a problem with you messing up. I not expect, but like I understand that's going to happen. You're a human being. You're a child at that. You're going to mess up. You're going to make mistakes. We all do. I'm an adult. I told
Right.
him, daddy messes up. I mess up. I make mistakes. But the thing of it is, I do my best to correct my mistakes, or I take accountability. If I mess up, take my accountability, and I do my best to correct it. So either it doesn't happen again, or I know better and stuff like that. And that's why I teach them. And the same thing with gaming. You have to take accountability for the stuff when you mess up. Like if I'm playing somebody, like if I'm playing with my friends and we're playing the game, I know what my friends like to do a lot of times when they're playing on certain things. Like if I decide to blitz, I know when this man go catch the blitz, I know he watching. He know what I like to do. So if I run that blitz this player, that's gonna leave somebody not covered well, and he's gonna probably see it if I don't get to him in time, and it's gonna be a touchdown or whatever. Cost me it might. But I have to take accountability for that. It's the same thing like you said in the tech. You got to take accountability for your actions, for the things you mess up on. And like I said, it's okay. It's a learning situation. You taking that risk at that point, but you do have to take accountability.
Yeah, and I agree. Like when it comes to taking accountability with a fighting game, when you hit a block or you whiff, and that person comes up and you can see it too. Cause like I had it before where I went for a kick and like I missed and I just watched him like wind up and I was like, damn, he really gonna rock my shit.
What did I think was either back in the fight night or even UFC does it. Like if you're sitting there throwing punches and you're not hitting your person, that's going to cost you stamina at a certain point because you're just exuding energy and you're not connecting with anything. So you do have to be careful of that. Like you said, you knew what you kicked, he missed or you missed, and he timed it perfectly and rocked you. So yeah.
And it's something you bring in Fight Night too, because like Fight Night Champions, I loved that moment where you hit a counter on them and like it like flashes for a second because for a fact they like that miss. And it was such a fun feeling too when you get the hit and you watch your opponent just like stop moving, just that boom, they just fall down and you're like, yeah, no, that's why you don't fuck with me, okay? That's why like I'm a fucking champion. Then I'm walking outside like, yeah.
Same, man. I used to and I'm surprised I haven't played it more, but like UFC, I used to play UFC, like any UFC game that came out, man. I was playing it like as soon as it dropped. Like I used to love getting there. I create my heavyweight, and my heavyweight had a belly and everything. Like I was one of them. So listen, we go. I'm gonna throw these hands, and then I'm gonna catch you one of them kicks. And I love how it looks. So when you knock somebody out, it's like they body go there. Like I love seeing that when it comes, especially in UFC, man. So yeah,
that's
I need to get back into that
though. Like I start getting low on health, and especially like I don't want to say bad players, right? But like players who aren't on the higher land will typically go for a low. If you know it, and so I've gotten good at just you sweep parry them. And so like I'm like, okay, cool. So I would sit in the practice, and this is actually something interesting too, is when I don't do well, I wish, and I don't know if more fighting games have this because I haven't played like Street Fighter and things like that, but they have a mode where you can go back and you can go look. You can watch your replays, and then you can be like, hey, when this guy did this, make sure to duck under this for like, it's kind of trying to give you some help with it. And I think that's great because I think that's something that people could learn because you can watch a fighting game and have no clue where you went wrong.
Yeah.
Especially if it's evident. And so what like I like doing is the fact that they'll also let you retry it in that scenario as well. Like do the duck or do like a sweep or something like that. And then I go into the practice mode. And one thing I love doing in practice mode is that they have like the punish mechanic.
Yeah.
Where like you throw one, they throw it back, and they connect it with you first. It's into a counter punch. And so what I do is I set it on a counter. So it's either a high attack or it's a low attack. And so whenever I jab, and then I know that it's going to swing. So it's either going to hit me high or it's going to hit me low. And it's on a random spot. So I have to go make sure to check to see where. So I'm always preparing myself for that block. And you gotta, and just kind of, I want to say kind of like life too, but like you gotta be able to prepare yourself for this kind of shit. Because when you go and you play into any kind of bigger settings, like you're gonna get fucked up real quick. And that's the same thing with life. If you come in unprepared, you're gonna get fucked up real quick.
Man, very, very much. As you can relate, you related to anything, life in general, games, like even with when I'm not playing games and everything, I do have a family and stuff, but my kids play sports and I'm a coach. So I got into coaching when my kids were started playing sports or whatever. And I got into coaching not because, my love, I like the fact that I can teach kids stuff like that and my kids are playing. I'm one of those, I do my best. And I don't play daddy ball. I do my best to be fair. Like if my kid is not the best at that certain position, guess what? Hey son, you go get a play, but you're not starting or you're not this. You know what I'm saying? I make sure I do my best to be fair to everybody. But like my middle son, he decided to play football this year, and I got a chance. I'm playing. I was coaching, and I'm a lineman. I've always been a lineman. So and my kid is a lineman, so I get to coach him and teach him stuff like that. I remember when we had a scrimmage game, and I'm telling him, hey, this is his first year playing tackle footballs, and I'm telling him, I was like, hey, with you rushing, if you stop, you're gonna get knocked over. Like I'm telling him, just like you like this stuff like that, hey, if you don't do this, you're gonna get knocked this. Literally, that's exactly what happened. The guy, he was on defense. The ball was hiked. He went at the guy, and the guy was blocking or whatever, and he kind of stopped. Like he pushed the guy back or whatever, but he stopped and took a step back or whatever, and the guy just pushed him over. I just ran him over, and he looked. I'm sitting literally. He's sitting maybe 10 feet away. He's standing 10 feet away from me, and he's looking at me. He look over at me at the sideline and say, "I told you." I was yelling, I told you, because I literally just told you, you can't just stand there and just stop in the middle of a play. You got to keep going until the whistle is blown. And it was so funny. Like that was the very first game. Of course, he got better over the season, but it was just so funny. Like, bruh, like you said, you got to be prepared. You got to be prepared for that.
Like I remember because that reminds me of when I played defensive line. I played defensive line, I played offensive line.
Yeah.
And I remember doing a practice, and I took off running, and this was like the moment where I realized I had to get really good at play recognition.
Mm-hmm.
And I took off running, took 2 steps forward, realized I wasn't getting blocked, and I was like, oh shit. I'm like, I got caught. That's a trap. And so I turned and I look, and all I see is just full steam. I'm just like, damn it. After that, I've never had that happen again. I was just like, yeah, well, fuck this.
Yeah, you have to pay attention to certain. Like when I played D tackle, I was so quick off the ball that I would, like, if you pull or whatever, like I would fall into the gap, even if you was trapping. Like also when I was supposed to be getting trapped, I was so quick, like it was hard. Like if the guard, like if they left me open or they pulled, I fall in the hole, and the dude that's supposed to come to block me, by the time he get to me, either all he's catching is like either my hip or like or he's barely, or if I done saw him and I know how, because I learned, I think I got caught like one time, but I learned if I can't get him, if I can't get to where I'm going, he's coming, he's catching his shoulder, and I'm gonna plug something. I'm gonna stop the motion, right? I'm gonna cause chaos wherever I'm at, and that's what I was good at. So like if you pull, or if I'm the one that's falling into the gap and you supposed to be trapping me, we still ain't nobody going nowhere because I was hard to move. I was a good run stopper. I wasn't great at pass rush, but stopping the run, I would clog up the hole so much. So it's like, oh.
I was the opposite. I was I wasn't the greatest run stopper, and I remember it was so funny. We played. This is when I played semi-pro, and there's a big fucking dude, just big old fat fuck, and you weren't gonna move him.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And he got the best of me on one of them, but like it was because like the ball's already being thrown down the field, and like everyone at that point is kind of just turning and watching, and I got shoved in the back, and I got pissed.
Oh man!
And so nothing gets called, and I'm like, fuck, whatever. And I realized real fucking quick, this dude's so fat he can't move. So like it's just that if he would telegraph the plays. If he was in a 3-point stance, it's a run. If he had to stand up on 2, it was a pass. And so every time I would watch him, and as soon as he got in the 3, I would stand up and be like, it's like I'm just scream. I'm like, run the entire time. And then we were able to stop that play because this guy did not realize that I'm actually like diagnosing his plays because he's too stupid to realize it.
Yeah.
And so and I'm like, damn, bro, your asthma's like fighting you.
Listen, you have to act as some. So I play both sides of the ball, especially playing O-line, man. O-line, like even with pass block, like I got, and my son played both sides this season. We had 6 linemen. So we had 6 bodies. Let me say this: we had 6 lineman bodies, 2.5 good linemen. Let's 2.5 good linemen. My son and another kid, like they were the best 2 linemen. We had another one. He was tall, but he was just. It's like he would be like he would be out somewhere. Like, bro, like when he played tackle, and then like my son, luckily he started recognizing stuff. Like we were on the pass block, and he as a tackle, you're supposed to get the DN, right? You know, this guy is right here. No, he blocking down, and my son, luckily my son was recognizing like he blocking down. I ain't got nobody to block. So he's stepping back in pass block, and what he started doing was picking up that man coming off the edge. So my son was able to recognize it, so he would help a little bit. But I'm watching film, and I'm sitting here watching like, why is dude open? Why is he blocking nobody? And I'm realizing our tackle is blocking down instead of getting the man that's out here. But
that pissed me off.
And listen, these are like 7 to 8 year olds, so you can only. You can get upset.
Right, the kid's that young. It's like if this was like high school or above, I'd be like, "The fuck are you doing?"
Exactly. That's a complete different. But doing it with them 7, you're teaching them game, and we try to correct it or whatever the case may be, man. But it's a good experience, man. It's fun. But yeah, and I once again love football. I love the fact I'm getting to teach my sons what I used to do play, because I played every position on the line. I started outside and moved in. When I was in middle school, I was playing tackle. High school, I played guard and center, and on defense, I was a defensive tackle, nose guard, or whatever the case may be. And seeing my kids get to transition, doing some of the stuff I do, and getting to teach them some of the stuff I know is awesome. Also, defensive tackles and that line and all that have changed so much from the time I played to where they are now. Like I'm looking at some of these defensive linemen, 300-some pound, running 4.8s.
Yeah, you saw that.
Could never.
I was like,
I could never have. I think this the closest I got. I got a 5'1", 5'2", 5 flat. If that, that's the fastest I ever run. Like it was like 5'2", I think.
Fastest was a 4.8. My fastest was a 4.8 on the dot, and but my skill set, because I wasn't necessarily all that strong compared to everybody else. I wasn't necessarily like the fastest, but I could I was technically where I knew, rip move, the swim, spin move. I was always good with those, and I could diagnose the plays really quick.
Yeah.
And I was like, I have to be a lot more technical because I didn't feel like I had the physical stats.
Yeah.
And what was interesting is that my first year as semi-pro, I played that same way. I played offensive line, then I played defensive line. And it was one game I played where I would play on offense or play defense, go switch, everyone would switch up. I go back and playing offense, and by the end of the first quarter, I'm sitting there and the defensive lineman's like, "Are you okay?" The D end is like, are you all right?" And I'm like, I haven't been out this field. And so I took 2 steps, blocked, and he just stopped moving because he felt bad. I was just I can't. And so I had to get myself out the field. But my second year was interesting because the thought process for the defensive line would change.
Yeah.
It was no longer defensive ends outside contain, anything like that. Your job was just to blow shit up, and the linebacker's job is to go make the tackles.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. So every down was just boom, just running in as fast as possible. And I was like, bro, this is great. I'm like a walking what was it, Mario the game, the walking bombs. That's what I felt like the entire time. You just blow stuff up and keep on running through. And on that way.
That's awesome, bro. As much as by the time I if I was still in my 20s and stuff like that, I wanted to play semi-pro or stuff like that. But I was like, now what I got, and I started those, because they call them 37U leagues and stuff like that. Because I know a couple people that we've had some here in Birmingham, and I know a couple people that played in them, and they were like, "Man, you should come out." Like, bro, listen, my knees and everything else, I can't do it. But I enjoyed it. Growing up, and like I said, getting to teach it now, and I see because my kids they're not huge, but they're with them being the size they are, they have to be linemen. And I say, oh, great, we go work on stuff. And my middle son, with him playing this year, I see a lot of there's a lot of talent there, especially for him to have his first year. He's already strong. He's kind of tall to be his size. He was one of the heaviest kids on the team, but if you look at him, he don't look like it. He's solid. So we're gonna grow out, work with that and grow out that. And I'm teaching him, hey, because he wants to play more deep. He wants to play D-line. And I'm like, I bet. We are going to work, and he's going to be an interior lineman because his size. But like I said, if I can get him to where he learns to use his hands, he's got to get quicker. We got some stuff we got to work on. But
yeah, of course.
But it is so much fun, and seeing the fact that he's excited and he wants to do this. That's amazing.
And to add it up too, I think the one thing that's I always hate it for offensive linemen, because I always say offensive lineman is one of the most critical positions, because if your offensive lineman's bad, your offense ain't going nowhere.
Yeah,
it's not. You can watch pretty much any sports game, or just go watch the Jets.
Or go look at watch the Super Bowl. That's what happened in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. When their offensive line did not know what to do against Seattle.
Yeah.
And so it's crazy because offensive line is one of those that I feel like sometimes gets overshadowed because of the glitz and glam of the catches or whatever. And I'm so glad, I don't know if you noticed, but they put in a blocker of the year.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
They added a blocker of the year. I think it's called blocker or keeper or something like that. But I was like, they should have had this a long time ago because in my opinion, there's a lot of players that, yes, they were great offensively, but they would never have been if they didn't have the offensive line that they did.
Correct.
Personally, I think the blocker of the year should actually just go to the team with the best offensive line, but that's just do an individual work.
I completely agree with it because, granted, you may have I could be the right guard and be the best lineman in the league, but the rest of my line is shit. And so we're not winning games. We're not doing that. People recognize me as being the best, but everybody else around me is not. So it's as an offensive lineman, I don't want just myself to be the best. Granted, I can be the best, but my unit, the rest of us also need to be good. We need to be good at what it was Kevin Hart used to say, you got to look good as a unit. We have to look good as a unit, because in order for us to have success and not just me, we all have to do our jobs. We all
like
got to be
you
good.
mentioned, Seattle this year, their offensive line was good. They
Yeah.
could hold, and when they're good, it allows Darnold to play good. And
Mhm.
it goes for pretty much any quarterback. Like if
Absolutely.
you only have roughly like a second or two because your guard keeps getting blown out every single time, yeah, it's gonna get scary real quick.
It very much is, man. It very
Like
much
so
is.
I'm happy in those regards. Especially I'm happy to see him win the Super Bowl. I think it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
wild.
And I know Minnesota is kicking
Mm.
themselves out of this world because of you had a lot of the stuff that Seattle had, you already had in place. You had the wide receivers, the run game was there a little bit. The defense wasn't terrible. The defense was solid. You just had to rebound, but y'all wanted to, and I get it. Y'all drafted JJ McCarthy and y'all wanted to see what he was gonna do.
Which, yeah.
And me personally, get it. You had time to develop. I would have signed Sam Darnold for at least 2 more years. I'd have let JJ sit and let him develop behind Sam. So when Sam left, then we'll have somebody, because the way Sam played last season, just that momentum, I wanted to keep it there. I would have never let that man leave. But that's just, once again, that's me.
No, and
That's me.
that's fair. That's fair. No, I get that. Like, it was wild to think that like they let him go, and so that's why I love watching. I love sports. I'm not gonna lie, I love sports.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's crazy. Like just thinking that like they just moved him over. Like, nah, you're good. 3-year contract, boom, Super Bowl win, and I'm just like, damn, and it's just they played so good as a unit too.
Yeah,
As
they
a
do.
unit, they all played solid, and like. The games between like they played against some tough opponents and stuff too. It was just really fun to watch Seattle go off like they did. Sam is crazy.
So Dre,
Hero Dre.
Dre.
What's good on? What's good, Dre? But like, when it comes to, I'll wrap this round back when it comes to gaming a bit too.
Yeah.
Because for you, I know like you also said you do writing stuff on top of that. And like a little more about what's that about.
Yeah. So I write for a website called gamersocialclub.ca. It's I think Canadian website, but it's a gaming site. It's a gaming site, game reviews done by gamers. We talk about from news, game reviews to other stuff like that. It's a lot. We do a lot, and it's everybody else over there does a whole lot. I write from time to time. I had to step back a lot, mostly because I've been focusing on some content and just family and stuff like that. So I pulled back some, but like I've done reviews, done news articles, stuff like that. We have guides for certain games, things like that. But it's a cool feeling being able to write and just share your thoughts on certain games, and then have someone to actually read it and look at it like, hey, this, go look for your stuff, or either see your stuff, and the fact that people can see my thoughts and see my opinions of a certain game and care about my opinions, and the fact that like I'm on being a part of them allowed me to be on Open Critic. I have like my reviews and stuff on Open Critic. Haven't done one yet, but we just got approved as a site. We just got approved to be a part of Metacritic. So now our reviews go to Metacritic as well. So it's a lot to go. It's a lot, and once again, it's cool. I've been working with it's freelance, of course. So I don't get paid directly, but I'm not looking for payment for that. I do it for fun. I do it because I like it. In fact, I get a free game every now and again. Doesn't hurt at all, from reviewing stuff. But it's cool. It's pretty cool. Like I said, the gaming site is gamersocialclub.ca. But like I said, really cool site and really good people to work with. We have people from everywhere, from America to Canada to Europe to Australia. Like it's a lot of people that make it work and make it do what it does. So yeah.
Nice. That was like fun. I mean, I like Metacritic. I look up Metacritic every now and then when it comes to certain games, especially when like I like seeing the user score.
Yeah.
I like seeing the critic score, and sometimes you see a big divide between them. So I'm always interested into why. So like I always check it out, all that other kind of stuff. But I find it interesting because I see like, there's a lot of people that I talk to that they're just like, I don't ever listen to reviews, right? And I'm like, that's good, sure. Go listen to reviews. But then they'll be like, but the reviews for this game sucks. Afterwards.
And that, so I was at a point where back when I first got back into it, kind of game I would look, for a lot of people, my source for it was IGN. I'm sorry.
Oh,
it was IGN, looking at IGN, looking at other stuff, but what I learned as I was getting older, hey, IGN might not be the best place. You can look at IGN, but I also don't just take IGN. I go look at other stuff. I talk to people I know that's playing the game, things like that. Like I do all of that. I don't just go off reviews. Like I'll look at a review or two, but I also go and talk to people or asking for people who I know if they're playing the game, I'll go question them or ask them, hey, how you liking this? Then I me, especially if somebody know the games I like or know hey, do you think I would like this? I'll ask stuff like that. You think there's something that I may like, what I'm saying? Especially if it's something that I haven't played before or a genre that I don't normally play, I'll ask them, especially if they know me, and we go from there. But that's how I determine with certain games. Certain games, if I see it and I want to play it, I'm gonna jump in. I don't care, what I'm saying, what the reviews are. I don't care about any of that because if I know I want to play something, like I know I'm playing Crimson Desert. That's something I want to play.
I'm excited for Crimson Desert. It looks like fun.
It does. So it's like no matter what the reviews are, no matter what everybody else is saying, I'm going to be playing it regardless of whatever else is going on. So yeah.
And there's some games that I I'm like, I don't care. Someone's like, this game is blah, blah, blah. We saw this with a bunch of other games that I'm just not going to mention again today.
Yeah.
I'm so sick of mentioning them.
Yeah.
But I play, actually, fuck it, I am going to mention them. But I played games that, I played Veilguard. I'm enjoying Veilguard. I still need to finish it. I got, you start getting caught you play one game and then you start playing another game on top of that. You start playing another and the backlog gets farther and farther.
You don't have to tell me. I just bought yesterday. Matter of fact, yesterday I bought Black Myth Wukong and I bought Pokemon Fire Red. Yeah, just yesterday. So it's like, not to mention, I still have Octopath Traveler 1 and 2 to play on my Switch. I still got other games I need to finish. I got to finish Ghost of Yotei. I bought Death Stranding 2, Control. Like I have so many games to play.
I feel that. What is your starter?
So I haven't picked it yet, but and reason being is appreciate that, Scorpio, but the reason being is I'm trying to decide which one I want because you get the three legendary dogs at the end. You get to pick. It depends on who your starter is. So I'm trying to decide if I want Suicune or Entei. And I think in order to get Suicune,
you just took Raikou right out of it. Just fuck them. Raikou
is cool, but I'm just
saying.
Suicune and Entei are my some or two of my favorites. So if I want Suicune, I have to get Charmander. If I want Entei, I have to get Bulbasaur. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm trying to decide
because I always go water. I always go water. I
same
water every fucking time.
Same. It's rare. And me and Doug was talking about this last night on we did an episode of Victory Road talking about the Pokemon Presents. And my normal choice has always been water. When I first started playing Pokemon, my very first starter was Squirtle. Squirtle Squad all day. And when I got gold and silver, Totodile. That's what Totodile to this day. Totodile is my favorite Pokemon. Well, it's 1A and 1B. It's Totodile and Dragonite. They're like my two all-time favorites. So it's them.
Totodile pretty cool,
Yeah. So
I'm a mud kid. Like when it was Pokemon Ruby Sapphire, I chose first. When he got into Swampert, fuck yeah, I was like, that's awesome. I love it.
I got a love of Swampert because I played Generations 1 and 2, fell off, then played 3 and 4, jumped back in 5 in Unova, and played through Unova. Then X and Y came out, and then Alpha Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, and whatever those came out. Got those because they had Mega, and I ended up getting Swampert. I chose Mudkip, and Mega Swampert. Shot. I love Mega, and that's my love of Mudkip came from that. I was like, yo, This guy, this is it. This is it.
I'm saying. So I went, red, red, blue, yellow. Then I had, gold, silver, Gen 1, Gen 2. Got Gen 3, my favorite one. Fire red, leaf green. Then I did not play diamond and pearl. And then I didn't play black and white at the time either, but I went back to play black and white, fell in love with the game again, and then loved that one. And then I kind of waited on a bunch of them after that because I didn't have a DS. Like, it was my brother's DS. Didn't have the DS. I didn't worry about it. And then eventually I went and played I played some of Sword and Shield, but I got to go back and replay it. Like, I got to make myself go back and replay that one.
Yeah.
But then I went and played Scarlet and Violet, and I really enjoyed Scarlet and Violet. So now that Fire Red and Leaf Green come on there, and I'm just like, fuck yes. Like, this is going to be just another fun time. And I'm glad that they are coming back. I know there was some people who were kind of disappointed that they were just the ports again. But in reality, I'm actually glad that they're coming back. I think there's a lot of people now who didn't grow up during them. And so I'm glad that they have an opportunity to check these out. And that's what I love about like ports and remasters and shit like that. I love it because there's so many people who will not get a chance to play that, and I'm okay with them. I don't know if you saw the new designs for the new one,
the Winds and Waves.
Yeah,
I did. I saw the Pokemon Winds and Waves, the new the 3 new starters, Pombun, Brout, and Quick. I can't think
Quacko or something like that.
Quacko or something like that. Quacko or something like that. But it's the iguana lizard water, and then like the Brout is like a little chicken or whatever, and then Pombun is like a Pomeranian, which is a fire starter. I think the designs are cool, and I'm looking at them, and I'm like, I don't know if I want, because the first time you see Brout, little grass one, he has this mean scowl on his face. So I'm like, ooh, I wonder how he'll go. Then I looked at the iguana. I was like, ooh, I don't know if they're gonna give us a water dragon, but I really like the lizard. They maybe a Komodo dragon type thing. I don't know. So I'm like, I don't know if I want to choose a water starter. But Pombun is interesting, and I'm like, they can go a lot of ways with this Pokemon. So I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, because I would say I made that video yesterday about it, and I was like, you know what, I'm fine with the designs. Like, I was like, I could say that, like, do I think they're a little lackluster? Yes, I do. Like, I'm not gonna lie, the Brout, I think it was. I was like, he kind of looked like an Angry Bird knockoff.
Yes, he does. He absolutely
looked like an Angry Bird.
Excuse me. Me and Digimon Tamer, we was when I posted about it, Digimon Tamer had posted like the meme that was going around of him in our on my post or whatever. But me and Digimon Tamer was talking about it or whatever through my little through messages or whatever. It was just funny because he posted that meme and it had the Angry Bird, and that's exactly what Brout looks like.
Yeah, I was like, oh no, and I was like, I don't think they checked. But I mentioned, I was talking with Pixie, and I was mentioning that, like, because she's all excited for it. And I was like, yeah, they kind of went this more cutesier route. I mean, while I do think it's a little lackluster, and the thing that got me was a little bit of a lack of an identity for them. Yeah. Especially when I liked the like Pombun does remind me kind of like a Fuecoco, where like the lights are on but nobody's home.
I can see that. I can definitely see that. And that was my starter for Scarlet. Like, Fuecoco just like he was
just happy, just happy to be there. I'm like, I did, because I chose Quaxley on my first run. And I'm like, this duck just got attitude. Like, I mean, like the hair ones, and I'm like, oh my god. And then I tried Sprigatito next, and I was like, oh, I like Sprigatito. Like, and then I'm at the Elite Four right now. I just beat the 8th gym. But I think when it comes to the starters, like, I am fine with them kind of being a little lackluster. I am more excited to see their finals. That's what I'm looking for. Like, especially. Oh, go.
I was gonna say that's absolutely. That's why I was telling everybody. Like, look at them; they all look cool. They look cute or whatever. But what are those final evolutions gonna look like? Like, are we gonna go? Because a lot of times they'll go from looking so cutesy to looking badass. Sometimes, like you look at Sun and Moon, where we had Litten, outside of the Puplio or whatever. And I ain't really the water starter, but Litten and Rowlet turned into Rowlet turns into I can't think of his final.
Incineroar.
No. Or Litten turns into to Incineroar, badass wrestler looking thing, and then Rowlet turns into I can't think of his final evolution. Yeah, he turns basically he's an archer. It's an archer owl, which is badass itself, and I can't think of his name, but his final evolution's name. But like the designs were pretty badass at the end. Even Fui Coco, he turns into once again, can't think of the final evolution.
Ghost fire, and that's what I'm interested to too, because they're introducing like multiple like different kind. Like we ever would have even thought about getting a fire and ghost, or like a grass and dark. You know, I think Fui Coco is a water and flying, I believe.
Quaxley. Yeah, it was water and something.
I think it's water and flying.
It might be. And that's what I was hoping. It was with the final evolution, they do these new ones. So I'm hoping for maybe like a water dragon. Because my cousin Doug was like, they're probably never gonna do it. They're probably gonna never give a starter a dragon type. And I'm like, I know that, but at the same time, this would be so bad. He was like,
I want one.
They need to, because it's like, and he was like, well, if they give it dragon, it's gonna open up to this type and all this stuff. I was like, well, you gotta think about it. It's water dragon. It's not dragon water. If it was dragon water, it'd be a little different. But if it's a water dragon, it won't have access. Because he's like, it'll have access to thunderbolts. Hey, no, it won't, because it's a water dragon. Dragon is a second typing. So I'm looking forward to it. I hope we finally get that water dragon, that, you know, especially on that, because it could be pretty badass if they do.
I think so when I look at all three of them, also I think the water dragon could arguably be the most broken.
Yeah.
But like I think like when I look at it, like when I look at route, I can easily see a grass and fighting type.
Yep.
Would be kind of cool seeing grass and fighting with Pom Bomb. Yeah. I see possibly fire and fairy.
Yep. That's why I was looking at somebody else. Man, I think somebody else online. I was like, they may go fire fairy again, because I don't know what else, unless they do, you know, unless they come with some crazy like a fire steel, but I'm assuming it's gonna be fire fairy. And then, like I said, I don't know. This is or I know Brout also. Somebody mentioned I saw something that could pull up where it could end up being grass steel. But
grass steel would be interesting too.
Yeah.
Like I think the water dragon would be interesting. I don't know. I don't think they would do water. Like I don't know if they go water dragon, but I want them to do water dragon.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, like I can see it becoming the lizard one becoming. I just want to know what the theme is, because it seems like everyone has a theme. I just don't like that if their theme is like mascots of different TV shows. I don't know. I'm also just excited because like the different environments look great.
Correct. It was so you can. I'm assuming we're gonna have access to swim underwater, because looking at the trailer, you know,
are we getting dive again?
Yes.
Back
That looks awesome. And once again, I'm also, because I was telling Dub, like I'm excited for the starters. I'm you know, I like those, but I'm also excited to see some of the new Pokemon that we're gonna have in the game, because up until it comes out, we're gonna be probably getting every 2 to 3 months. They're probably gonna get a reveal of a new Pokemon that's gonna be in the game or whatever. But
is this back to turn-based system too?
I'm pretty sure it's gonna be back. It's probably gonna be back to where how it normally is, with this being a mainline game. So
I'm glad with that. Yeah. Like my question, because I'm interested to see like if they do have like a bit of a story to it. I like the fact that we're kind of like, it feels like we're on an island again. The wind and waves is really interesting to go off of. I like the cities, the forest, all that stuff look really good, very similar, more detailed than what they had in Scarlet and Violet. But I think like for me, I'm also interested in like I love the individuality of the gym leaders.
Yeah,
I want the challenges back. I want the challenges back. I love them. Also, they did this in Scarlet and Violet. Bring back double battles, bring back triple battles, and bring back rotation battles.
Ooh, I don't know if they'll bring those back, but I know I'm hoping. Double battles, absolutely. You need double battles back, but I would love to see. I would love to see the triple battle come back as well.
Everybody getting earthquaked.
Yeah. That would be dope. Oh man. And one thing I do love they've done over the past few couple of generations, as somebody who does competition, or I do battle. I don't do like competition where it's like the trying to go to worlds and then, but I do like online competition, online battling. I love how they made the starters viable for like online competition now, because it was one point where I keep him on mic, but it was one point where starters were not, you didn't want to use your starter in like online battling, like, you know what I'm saying, if you so like now they add certain gear, like Fuikoka was decent. Muscarada, Sprigatito's Final Evolution was pretty good because of the typing and everything you could do and her ability or whatever. So like they made starters, Cinderace
pretty fucking strong. I'm not gonna lie.
Correct. And back in Sword and Shield, Cinderace, his final form. Rillaboom's final. Rillaboom was really good and viable in competitive online or whatever. I think somebody had Rillaboom on their team at Worlds. So it's like, I love the fact that they're making the starters more viable so that they can be used in online competition.
That's true. I think that's awesome. Like I've never really tried like online, besides just with friends.
Mm-hmm.
I do got a really funny Pokemon story though. So my mom, I was able to get Mew back in the day. She was able to get Mew, and I was going to go trade it with a friend of mine because he wanted to see it. So he went and we traded. This is what I was like, I don't know, maybe like second, third grade. And like we each, because his grandma was neighbors to ours, and we did the trade, and the trade goes through, and I'm like, trade it back, and he's like, okay, cool. So we go trade it back, and partway through he pulled the cord out.
Wow.
I don't think I've ever jumped someone so quick. My mom was running out. His grandma comes out and just see me just beating the shit on this kid.
Wow. I know, because
I got a justifiable crash out. Like I was like,
that was a very justifiable crash out for the simple fact, bro, you don't do that. Like, don't you move. Matter of fact, when we trade, sit it down, put it on the ground. Don't do
I
nothing.
don't want you talk. Yeah, it was so funny. It was like one of those moments where we just both. It was so bad. And crazy. Now it's like we don't really talk about after high school. It's kind of how that goes. But it was just one of those moments where I was like, dude, I will always remember this. Like, oh my God. I was like, how dare you? But I find that shit, I don't know. I still find it fucking funny.
Yeah, that was crazy though. Wow.
You know what? I've said this before. I said this in a different video, but I always want to bring this up in a podcast. I haven't done it yet. You know what I really, really want?
What's that?
I want Jump Force as a Dynasty Warriors game.
Ooh.
I don't want no more fighting, like 3D fighting ones. I know like that we just got Bleach. I don't care. I don't want no more 3D fighting ones anymore. Unless they start going through building kind of shit, because I like environmental effects, but that's different.
Yeah.
I want a Dynasty Warriors anime Jump Force style game with multiple characters from all over, not just from like Shonen, like, because I want your obscure shit too in Shonen Jump.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it bothers me that like there's certain people like Madaka Kurakami that was in J Stars but not get put into Jump Force because they over. It's kind of like what like DC does, where they only bring in like Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Captain, blah blah blah. I was gonna say Captain Marvel, but I'm like, that's not a fucking character in it. But I was like, oh, Shazam, kind of.
Shazam, yeah.
I was like, but like, I want them to do something like that. One, because Dynasty Warriors is fun. I don't know your take on that, but Dynasty
shit. Yeah, it is. I haven't played one in a while, but Dynasty Warriors is fun. We've seen over the years though, you've seen so many variations, even like One Piece Warriors. You got the One Piece where they do it in a Dynasty Warrior style. They tell the story in a Dynasty Warrior style. You look at Hyrule Warriors.
Hyrule Warriors is the best that they did it. I don't care.
They copied that style of Dynasty Warriors and put it into other games because it can be such fun, and it's a good thing. So that's what I'm saying. What you're speaking of, or what you would like to make or have, I think that could be amazing. if they do it right, and like you said, include some of the obscure anime characters in there as well, that would be bomb. If they could do that.
I think it would be awesome. I mean, they did that with like PlayStation. PlayStation did that where it was like it's an all-star one. I can think on the top of my head, but they did that with like a bunch of other like really obscure video games that were really just Japan only. And I think it'd be really cool to see that now with Jump Force, because you do have so many characters of all over the spectrum, especially now. Like I don't know if I don't know all of them, but like let's say you have JJK come in, you have Hell's Paradise, Sakamoto Days. You could bring in like so many obscure and because the formula for Dynasty Warriors before you could do a two-person mode, which I think would be really fun. You and like it doesn't have to be a complicated story, like but I'm just sitting here like I really want one of these. I love Dynasty Warriors, so like I'm always interested in what people think about it because I don't know about you, I don't care for the 3D fighters, 3D arena fighters. I don't like them.
I've played a few of them, man. Like I don't that I have what is Naruto. I have that one, like Shinobi, not Shinobi Strikers, but Naruto
Ultimate Ninja Storm.
Yeah, I have that. I mean, it's all right. It's fun. I played through it, but it was like, I don't see myself jumping in and like I know some people still play it competitive, like they do that, they go hard at that, and it's fun. But I'm like, it's okay. But what you're speaking, like I said, the Dynasty Warrior style with anime, a Jump Force, man, listen, that sounds like that because like the fact of you can get in there, especially if it's two-player, co-op, whatever. We can all jump in. I jump in, grab somebody, grab Midoriya from my hero, and get Bakugo, stuff like that. Like you're able to pick your character, jump in, and just go to work. You know what I'm saying? I think that'll be dope.
Yeah, I do too. Like I just, it's always kind of amazed me that like we haven't really got one. Yeah. And it also kind of bothers me a little bit because I know it's like kind of a licensing thing, but I think that they go through Shonen Jump anyways, which I believe is like the biggest one for Shonen. It makes the most sense for them to make something like that. One, because then you don't have to worry about the fighting changes and all the other kind of stuff. You can introduce new characters, all that other kind of stuff. I think characters like from Fire Force would be really fun, like Shinra. I would have Shinra Maki, like maybe just Maki or something like that. Maybe a villain or something like Sho. Like I just think that like it'd be really cool to have. I don't know if we'd ever get one, but like with the failure of, and I call it a failure of Jump Force because I feel like Jump Force was a big we dropped the ball moment.
I do as well. I do believe as well, man. It could have been so much more than what it was, but like I said, I think they dropped the ball. And like granted, I know a few people that was playing it or that played it a lot, but like I said, it still could have been as big as anime is. I feel like it had a chance to do, be bigger, and it just wasn't done right.
No.
So, but yeah.
No, exactly. It's funny. I was just talking with someone earlier about that line when people are like, "I just want this kind of game," and they're like, "Blah blah blah." They're like, it just has to be done right. And I was like, "Damn." I can't argue with that logic, but like, what do you mean by done right? You know what I mean? And I read that. I did that. I said the thing of like, like pitch me your favorite, what your fictional video game would be. And it's like an open world Star Wars game that would actually be done right. And I'm like, I don't know what that fucking means. Like, you need to tell me what that means. Like, if I'm telling you, pitch me a story,
you have to come through with everything. Like,
this was 3-second thinking bullshit, and then it took more seconds to type it out.
See, and that's why I try to like when I said, in that sense, as far as you have to make the game marketable, you have to make sure that you include elements of Dynasty. Like if you with Dynasty Warriors, like you include those elements, the aspects and elements that make what makes Dynasty Warriors fun. You have to make sure you include that, and like so also have the ability when you're including the anime characters, make sure you have their moves. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you have the right move sets for them. Make sure they have the access, the ability to use whatever their special is. Goku can do, Kamehameha. The Luffy has all his gum gatlings, whatever the case may be. Like, you got to make sure you include all of that in that, and everything feels proper as far as when you're punching, when you're destroying waves of enemies. Like, all that has to be included in it. The same thing like the person said they would like an open world Star Wars if it's done right. Man, listen, if I had I don't necessarily need a whole open world Star Wars, but like, give me I go with full open world Star Wars, have the ability to tell my story, whereas some similar maybe in the culture where you start off, you're not in, my thing is I don't need it to be set in the same era as Skywalker. You can either put me in the Old Republic, or you can push me 1,000 years in the future where we basically can kind of do what we do, where there is no set, maybe there is
that
no
High Republic era.
Yeah, like, there's no set Jedi, there is no set no Sith or whatever the case may be. Like, you got good and you still got the light and dark, good and evil, whatever. But you have to find your own path. You know what I'm saying? You get a chance to explore. You don't start off as a Jedi, you don't start off with a lightsaber. You start off being just a random person who maybe somewhat force sensitive, something like one of my favorite people in the Star Wars universe that's not a Jedi but would have been a Jedi had it been around was Shirt Inway from Star Wars Rogue One, which is Donnie Yen's character in Star Wars Rogue One. Blind guy, but clearly should have been a Jedi had the Jedi still been around or before Order 66 took effect. But like something like that, you have some of the skills, but once again, Jedi's not really a thing, Sith are not really a thing. Everybody's still going on about whatever, but having that ability to space travel, you know what I'm saying? You can go explore, you can do fly around, you run into, maybe the Empire's trying to make a comeback or whatever the case may be. You have elements that you can pull from that you enjoy. The story can kind of be yours to figure out whatever choice you make. You can choose to be part of the Empire. You can choose to be part of the Resistance, where you have that option of, hey, you go down this path, you will become a Sith or whatever, or along those lines, and you will eventually lead the Empire. Or
my choices to matter.
Yes.
Like let's say you end up going down a dark path.
Yeah.
You can't just bounce back to the light.
Correct. Correct.
There's a lot.
It doesn't work like that. It don't work. It won't work. No. Where you know what? I don't want to be evil anymore. I want to go over here, and all of a sudden, no. Everything you did as going down that dark path affected people. So it's like, even if you start trying to do good or try to switch to the light, you're still gonna have elements of, and it's still gonna have effects of people. So when you go through a village or you go through a town, or because of who you were, even though you defected from the Empire or you're trying to, people are gonna still recognize you as such. Like, people are gonna be scared of you because of who you were. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though you're getting hunted by stormtroopers, nobody's gonna, even you're trying to hide, people are gonna be like, no, like you would in anything. Like, he's in here, he's here.
That would be interesting if you. So let's say, because the one thing I'm looking at here is there was a villain that I don't know if she's canon or not, and that is Darth Talon, right?
Yeah.
And so I would love to see a Darth Talon series come through. You know what I mean? I want to see Darth Talon, and I think it's also because, I don't think she's canon, but I think it'd be interesting from the version of a Twi'lek.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, that would be dope. There's so many ways you can go with Star Wars. This is why, I've also noticed a lot of people want just Sims. Like, what they really want is just Sims. They want to be able to fly around, just build a base or build houses.
Yeah.
Blah, blah. Yeah. But I think with Star Wars, I want one where I have the choice of the light and dark. That's always good, always in those regards. But it doesn't have to force me to be Jedi, like to force me to be a Force sensitive. And I guess maybe Knights of the Old Republic kind of did this. I don't No?
Yeah, I think it was 2 that did that where you didn't. They said you could be like, I guess you could essentially be a gray Jedi or whatever the case may be, or gray, where you weren't evil, you weren't really good, or you weren't good, you weren't really evil, and you was kind of in the middle where you still had access to some of the, the Force choke or some of the evil, the Sith powers. You had some of the stuff, but you weren't really you were more of an antagonist than a
Right.
protagonist or a villain or whatever. So
And
yeah.
I think if I were to do a game that has choices, I would never bring in actually a gray Jedi. I don't think gray Jedis actually exist.
Yeah, they don't
Yeah,
exist.
but I was like, I don't think I'd ever would, because I feel like it kind of takes away from what makes your choices matter.
Correct.
Like,
Correct.
it's like, I want that character to be dark, then yes, it cuts off my choices for the light.
Correct.
And then like, oh, like you mentioned too, I love that fact of like when you are walking and someone's like, you see there's let's say an alert thing, right? An alert thing on there, and it's like a person is like telling, hey, there's a blah 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 person here. This person's here, or like the way that you go and you talk to them to barter to get food or something, and how you act.
Yeah.
If you act, you have a chance to, let's say, you can buy it from them or you can try to take it from them.
Correct. And stuff like that. That's what gives you that immersion as someone, like myself. I love RPGs, things like that, story games. And you do want to be, when you're playing those type of games, you do want to feel immersed or, in the game, in the world. So when you, like say, you spent 20, 30, 35% of the game doing evil shit or bad shit, and then all of a sudden now you want to change, it's like you said, being accountable. The game is not going to allow you to just, well, I don't want to be evil anymore, I'm going to go start doing good. And those options of good and interactions and stuff like that are going to come up. Like no, it's not. You're going to have your evil stuff, like, oh, I'm just going to beat you up and take it, or I'm just going to try to steal it, or I'm going to just, take it and not pay you for it. Like, you're going to have that. There's not going to be a good option, like in the dialogue or in the choices. There's not going to be an option for you to just not do something that's completely good. Well, I'm just going to pay you for it and thank you for it and go. It's not going to give you that because you spent the game being or doing evil shit now. So you're going to have to basically build up and take that accountability and deal with that because of the choices you made, which is what happens in real life. I mean, people want that. And I think that would be a really, really dope thing. Like I said, having that aspect of your choice, like it really shows you your choices matter. Like you can't just flip flop between good and evil, just like you can't in real life. When you do something bad, eventually you're gonna have to pay. Go through that accountability phase, and then eventually, after so long, like we saw you started doing. Okay, now you're starting getting options where, hey, this is a good. This is what we considered a good option or a good choice. You're going to have that options available for you, or dialogue options, or whatever the case may be in that game once you did enough on the other side or did enough in the middle or whatever to warrant that or whatever. So
yeah, I would agree. Yeah, and I think that it can work really well. I think that like Star Wars is one of those places that can just, there's so much you can do off of it. And I think that's what makes it like so much more fun.
Yeah.
I do have 2 final questions for you.
Sure.
I appreciate you being here.
No problem.
First and foremost, where can everybody find you?
Yeah, I am the Husky Hokage on everything. I'm on TikTok. We're working on. I'm on YouTube as well. Also, your boy is working on more long form content. So I'm going to start doing more on long form content on YouTube. Also, we have also created a Victory Road page. So we're going to start posting clips from our interviews and just from the show as Victory Road AGP over on IG and TikTok. So you can follow us there as well. So you'll see me, and you'll also see the infamous or famous Dub. He's a character. Afro knows, he's had a chance to meet him on a few occasions. But Dub is a character, man. But you'll be able to meet him as well. So you'll see some of the stuff. But that, and just like I said, the Husky Hokage everywhere. I'm on YouTube, IG. I'm just about everywhere under the Husky Hokage.
Awesome. And my final question here is, I usually say it about gaming, but I like to expand out. What does nerd culture mean? Like, what does that mean to you?
To me, it means everything. It's part of who I am. I've been you could say a nerd, but I've been a nerd or blurred since the beginning, since I've and you know, being coined under that. But like, I started watching anime at like 6 years old, and at the point in time, just from one of my very first animes shouldn't have been watching it. Definitely shouldn't have been watching it. My very first anime was the Ninja Scroll. I was one of those kids that didn't go to I was a night owl, and we had HBO or Cinemax or whatever. And thankfully, it wasn't one of those Cinemax flicks, but it was
Cinemax.
It was, I'm watching, and I saw a cartoon. It's 12 o'clock at night, so I see something I'm thinking it's a cartoon, and I see ninjas and swords and stuff. I'm like, hey, let's watch this. Mind your mom sleep, so I'm sitting here and watching, and lo and behold, you know, it's out later, you know, seeing the city name Ninja Scroll, found out what it was. But like, I've been watching anime, playing video games, reading comics. Comics was part of the reason I learned how to read, or I know how to read now, because of comics. Even growing up watching Star Wars, been a Star Wars fan, Star Trek as well. Like, I love all those things. The nerd considered culture, or whatever the case may be, is not just it's a part of me. It's who I am. Like, it's what I love, man, and it's something that I enjoy, from gaming to everything else that can be considered. Like, I'm a what they call them? I'm a Whovian. I love Doctor Who. Like, I take part in all of it, man, and I love it because it's so much good stuff that people want to call a nerd or whatever the case may be. Call it what you want. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to have fun, and I'm going to love it. So, yeah.
That's all that matters.
Yeah.
That's all that matters. Also, I just saw here the record for the quarterbacks, the jump right now.
Yeah.
43.5.
Whoa.
43.5 inch vert.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's insane.
That is insane. I saw somebody hit. Who was it? Who did it? Did they say?
Let me go check real quick. I saw that as just like that was like I was like, hot damn. No, I can't find it. Let me see. Vertical jump. For the tight end, it was a 45.50. No, that's vertical jump.
I was gonna say the Oregon tight end ran like a 4.3.
Jeez.
At tight end, that's the fastest time for a tight end ever.
Yeah, that's scary.
Yeah.
It doesn't say, but that's wild.
Yeah.
Nope. Oh, here it is. Taylor Green, quarterback from Arkansas.
Oh wow, I can see that. I can understand that guy's real athletic. I can definitely see that.
Crazy, like that's wild.
Yeah.
But I do want to say, for everybody else here, you know where you can find me on Twitch, on YouTube, of course, because that's how you're watching this.
Yes.
You got the IG, you got TikTok, you got Threads, you got Facebook, on pretty much every social media post. And as long as that, I had something else to say, but it's fine. But like, I appreciate you being here, Husky. It's about time we got you up on here.
It's my pleasure, man. Thank you so much for having me, man. Really appreciate it.
110%. And for everybody else, as you know, I'm Taylor from Afro OG, and I will catch you all in the next one.